All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
ReZero, Season 2, Episode 3. Last episode definitely didn't have anything surprising or shocking or at all recontextualizing everything we know about the show.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. Oh my god, guys.
Yeah.
The whole show has been upended, and Subaru's probably about to get some exposition. Some serious info here.
Just a little bit.
Hold on. This is the Witch of Greed.
Echidna. Not Satella. Not the
Satella.
Witch of Envy.
But that means that Satella didn't necessarily consume all the witches.
Right.
So what's going on here? Why are we here? Why was Amelia put on this path by Roswell and Frederica?
And why is it something where in the trailer we were led to believe that this person was Satella?
So, mysteries afoot.
Yep.
And Subaru has an awkward save point. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into it.
I'd already be dead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just mediocre. Oh.
Way
to go, Subaru! Amazing. Which is funny because she does kind of look like Amelia, though. A little bit.
Oh. That's just because you have the Windows background.
Whoa. Holy crap.
Hold on just a second.
Whoa. Okay, let's get all the names here. Sekhmet. Oh, nice. Like the Egyptian god. Whoa. Oh, that's the dragon? Holy crap. Oh, darn.
Okay. And just drinks tea.
Oh.
Right. Okay.
Damn. Yes, this. Look at her face!
Yeah.
The way he keeps interrupting her, she's like, you're so different.
Nope, nothing I want to ask you. Wow. Wow.
Get wrecked! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wow. I love it.
This is so good.
Something much worse.
Oh, no.
Well, okay. No, that seems okay.
That's actually quite fair, yeah. Oh, she likes him. She likes him.
And there he goes. Wow.
I love that so much. Oh my god.
That was amazing.
That was so great.
No way.
She took his memory of it. Oh, someone small? Oh, wait. That's Bakugo!
Wait.
That's Bakugo's
Yeah.
VA! Oh,
He's gonna catch him.
Amazing! Yes!
Wow.
You trained well.
The brother or something of Frederica.
Ah, the one in the OP. Yep.
Yeah. Just charging him.
You talking shit about Subaru?
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh my god!
Just because I'm also a half beast, you think we know each other?
I don't know. Ah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, doesn't take a brainiac to figure that out.
Yeah.
Aw, it's okay, it's okay.
Ah. Gotcha.
So when she had it taken off, it didn't protect her anymore from the barrier.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah. Hey, Ram! Ah, Barasu.
How's this gonna go, though?
Yeah, we have something to say. Yes!
Wow.
Ah, very much so, Ram. Yeah. Oh god, please tell me he's like barely wearing anything. He's like, in this rustic way. Yes. I just need this shawl.
Watch. I'll bet you anything that the fandom
I'll pick
ships-
up what's left of you!
But I'll bet anything that the fandom ships Otto and Garfield.
I'll bet you actually they ship Otto and Subaru.
Well,
actually.
that too. Yeah.
Hey, we're going to see Roswell. He might be able to, give some insight, some help, maybe. Yeah. Because she doesn't know.
Uh-huh.
She doesn't know
Ignorance
really.
is bliss.
But also she doesn't know that she exists, even.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I was right! He's not doing that much!
But what happened?
He had a fight? Whoa.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
And
So
that's
this is
why
what they've been looking
That's why
for.
there's the barrier to keep people with mixed blood out.
Dang.
エミリア様は不思議に思われませんでしたか。聖域に逃れてきた住人たち、それにロズワール様やラムがこうして屋敷に戻らず、この場に留まり続けていることを。
They can't go back?
Oh, crap. No.
Oh, boy.
And Subaru is now the key to getting them out of there.
Yeah.
That's what she did.
Yeah.
So he got hurt trying to help them get out.
Sure.
Yo! And he probably cracked his head trying to... Ah. Holy crap.
Gotcha. Okay. And they were specifically sent here.
Yeah.
この聖域を囲む結界を解け。そのための試練をてめえが受けろ。それが解けなきゃ村の連中は誰も外に出さねえ。もっとも今はてめえ自身出られやしねえけどな。
Well,
All right.
here we go.
応選候補者のエミリア。
This is perfect for them to
Uh-huh.
kind of accept her in this
Right.
way.
よろしくお願いします。
Oh.
一つだけお聞かせ願いたい。
Yay! A pervy grandma.
知りたいのです。あなたが私どもの理解できない魔女ではないということを。
Okay.
Jeez.
私はあなたたちを家族のところへ返してあげたい。
Okay.
そう約束してきたわけじゃないけど、自分の胸に誓ったの。でもできればみんなと仲良くしたいとは思っています。
Okay.
よろしくお願いします。
Oh.
Cool.
こちらこそふつつかものですがよろしくお願いします。
そうやって何でもあの子の決意を人任せにするなよ。
そうね。
Nice
今
and
の
said,
はラムが
Subaru.
悪かったわ。
I will not call you Barasu for 24 hours.
What?
No, I'd prefer that you do. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Ganbatte Emilia-tan.
Okay. So will like Subaru walk up after she's been in there and he'll light up for him too? Wait.
Oh.
And it's gonna light up blue for him.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Whoa.
I was gonna say.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it gonna be like Emilia's perspective in the trial? Oh. Wait, this is just like in the estate.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Whoa. Oh, dude.
No way.
Dude, he's
no
in the
way.
real world.
Yeah. Oh my
Holy
god.
crap.
What?
Oh, shoot.
What?
Ah! What?
どうしたどうしたよ。
You're kidding.
だから全裸の親父でも見たような顔。
Oh my god!
All right, let's go.
Let's do this.
Let's
Yes!
go.
Yes.
I thought it'd be in backstory or something, but we getting this
We're
present
getting this
day.
right now. Oh my god, yes.
Wow.
Guys, this episode. Oh my god.
So,
this was amazing.
It was
We're setting up
quite
like
good.
a huge thing next week. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And the thing is, like
the fact that we're going into the real world via this trial of sorts, this magical trial, I like it as a way to kind of give backstory, but it's not backstory. It's
this is like present stuff, even if it's a simulation or an illusion or whatever.
Right.
But it's all stuff that Subaru's dealing with, and who knows, Emilia could be dealing with the same stuff. But like, but with how the previous episode left off, there were certain expectations that I had about this episode, and some of them came true.
Right.
You know, we got names for all the rest of the witches, right? And
we
little
had
tidbits
some subtle bits of world building that Echidna slipped into the midst of that.
that kind of
detail there.
recontextualize, you know, maybe
A
the
lot of
perspectives that
things.
people have on them. But much like Echidna, it didn't quite go the way that we expected.
Yeah.
It was sort of cut away from rather quickly because,
Not
yeah,
gonna ask me questions.
God, I loved that because one, okay. There is also something rather fitting about Shinobu's voice actress being a powerful entity that is inside some sort of quasi-real world, you know, that then can be beseeched for information and whatnot.
Amazing casting for the voice.
Excellent casting.
Perfect.
It's fantastic,
Perfect.
right? But then the joke that Subaru's like, sorry, no, I'm such a simp for Emilia that... Bye, you know.
Bye.
That's great and all. You can let me out. Cool. I just want to do that now. Wait, you don't want to ask? I can. Like this feels very, very kind of like DM being like, here is the awesome PC, and you can You can have lore about this world. That it is at your fingertips. Anything you wish to know. And the PC's like, you know what? That's great and all, but I want to do this other thing. And they're like, no, but you don't realize what I'm. No, I do. I just really would prefer
my
this
wife
thing.
who's outside. I have no reason to be here whatsoever.
And then just tears, lost, like memories in the rain.
I'm just here so I don't get fined, you know.
Yeah,
I'm out. Yep.
Oh my God!
I love the setup of Echidna.
Yes.
Echidna being the one that gives the exposition in, yes, Shinobu's voice. It's wonderful.
What more can you ask for?
And she gave us some rather telling details here. The main thing was she gave us all the names of the witches. Daphne, Carmilla, Minerva, Sekhmet, Typhon, Satella, and Echidna. This group here is also framed through the perspective of that they actually were all little mini rebels in their own way, doing things
helping humanity against the gods or whatever.
Yeah, they were basically little bundles of chaos,
right? Changing
up the order of things.
Let chaos reign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But how evil are they really?
Because she still says when Subaru's about to leave, it's like, no, make no mistake, I am an evil magic user. Okay. And yeah, she definitely had fun scaring the shit out of Subaru.
Yeah.
But like saying and I have done things I regret, right? It's
right.
That at the very least adds complexity and depth, makes it not so simple and straightforward.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
So and when we think about things that people regret and stuff, that makes me think too of like Beatrice back in the mansion, and when Use is brought up and all of a sudden things get complicated. It's like, wait, hold on, what's going on here? Right. Because Use, as Beatrice would call him, I'm sure he had some crazy backstory or whatever and interactions with Beatrice and all that stuff. But when we saw him in season 1...
He's a mass murderer.
He's a mass murderer, crazy person. Absolutely crazy person, right? Bonkers. There wasn't exactly much complexity to what was going on there.
Yeah,
he was
every once in a while he would
psycho.
say something that had some potential depth.
But
that was like, a motor mouth kind of,
it was
bot just going crazy on a typing machine, just saying like all kinds of nonsense, really.
Yeah, it was extra flavor to his crazy, not something that made you question whether he was crazy, right?
Yes.
So, now, granted, waifus, the power of waifus is strong indeed.
Probably amongst other waifus, too.
Indeed, yes. So, let's have all of these new characters come in that I'm sure, from what we've seen in the OP, have to come fantastic designs. They don't all have to come in here.
Been ones that were. We won't necessarily.
Who knows? But I gotta say, I'm with you. I really like the name Sekhmet. I am really, and like the little bit of like trapping a dragon behind a waterfall just to get some rest. It's like, okay, what's the story there? Like the way that the lore was done here, I really appreciated because it was a minimalist approach, right?
Yeah.
It tells you little bits about them, like touches base on all of the characters, and gives the proper nouns and whatnot. But it very much is something that more teases that story rather than being like, let me tell you the history of, the Great Rings and all that stuff, right? Like it's very, very quick and not too heavy right out the gate.
Yeah, but it is exposition dumping specifically through the realms of, here are all the names here of people that have been framed through the course of history to be rather nasty folk.
Yes.
And I would say that for the most part, they probably all had nasty aspects to them.
Sure.
But the main one that kind of drew my sus of, oh shit, like how are we bringing this up? Satella was the one that consumed all the other witches.
Yeah,
and
became the enemy of the world.
Yeah, the enemy of the world, basically.
Right.
So,
right.
In a way, Satella might have basically unified, potentially, even the world in general.
Yeah.
Where you have these sisters of chaos, basically, going around letting chaos reign,
Yeah.
And she maybe does something that... no one else really has the the capacity
gumption
to
for.
see it from her perspective. But the way Echidna talks about it, there's that little bit of understanding of like, oh, you think it was just so simple that she just gained power? Well, we weren't necessarily friends to everyone. We weren't, we were playing out our roles, if you will.
Right.
But there was like the idea of like one of them defying God. I believe that was the first one. It was Gluttony.
Oh, yeah.
So we have Gluttony, who created beasts that defied the will of God to save the world from starvation. So you know what that basically means to me, and I would say there, is that basically beasts that are not antagonistic towards humanity, meaning that human beings could just easily slaughter them with basic predation.
Oh, okay.
And thus the world wouldn't have consumed humanity.
Well, and did you get the sense that because it went from gluttony to lust, and those seemed like they could have been linked.
Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to
yeah.
that. So let's go to lust here. Carmilla, who granted emotions to non-human beings in an attempt to fill the world with love. Wait a minute.
Non-human beings. Wait, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is there a possibility that after human beings maybe went from the idea of predation against these, beasts of some kind, that eventually, some fell in love with them, and that's why we have half, animal, half humanoid beings walking around here. Then we have also like some really complicated ones that are really hard to parse out exactly what's being inferred here. With
Right, it's like there's an unseen story there.
Right, who struck people to heal them as she lamented the state of her war-torn world.
Whether you're talking literal or figurative healing, that's either way pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting. But then, Sekhmet, who drove a dragon past the great waterfall just for a chance to rest.
Like chance to rest. Were they
because the dragon was predating against humans and stuff
right?
Like that,
were they
or?
defending everyone from the dragon or something like that? And then suddenly it's like, okay, just go away so I can nap.
Like, there's some big things that we've had established in the lore, like with the dragon, basically.
Yep.
That people just talk about in very loose
Hold
terms,
on.
or they don't know.
I am saying this very,
anything.
very loosely. Take this with a grain of salt because I don't remember. But when the dragon was mentioned,
yes,
wasn't it something where it was actually a hero that drove the dragon beyond the waterfall or whatever? Maybe I'm getting it wrong.
No, I do remember something like that.
I might be conflating that with slime.
No,
but,
I don't think you're off here.
But if that's the
idea
case,
that the dragon was something that was, in my opinion, if I remember correctly, it was something that wasn't evil, though.
Okay.
It was seen more of as like a...
Right, because if it was... Okay.
Just a being of great power.
And that's
it might have been actually the other way
probably
around in that it was actually a guardian.
Right, and then it was banished or whatever, and that's why...
It disappeared or something like that.
Right, but
because the way they talked about it, I believe, in the first season was that it had some mystery surrounding it still.
Right.
I think it was just that the dragon was sleeping for all this time, and no one knows when it will wake again, I think.
Gotcha. That might have been what it was.
I think that's the vaguest bit that I'm
but
pretty
if there's like...
Well, we'll look it up later and find out.
But given that there's basically aspects of the histories and stuff that Subaru has been told that are not fully telling the whole picture, right? Because of, all this new stuff that he's getting about the witches and everything. If there is something where we could see the real history in the history that we know has a bunch of false information in there because of, like... where the inconsistencies line up and things like that.
Echidna has no reason to lie here necessarily, but she could be stretching the truth. So let's continue with the stuff here, though. Pride, though, is something that's rather interesting in general because there was a point when Betelgeuse, in season 1, Betelgeuse say something about pride.
Oh God, I can't remember. I mean, he probably did at some point.
This is something that I need to go back and look in season 1 as well. Because these are the witches. So this says nothing about their respective archbishops who might be the ones that are given the factor of their respective witch as a boon that maybe gives them their power specifically.
Yeah.
And that is something that we will get a little bit of confirmation with regards to the fact that Sloth had the Sloth
factor.
witch factor.
And now Subaru has it, and apparently Echidna has the envy factor.
Yeah, we'll get into that too.
Which is,
But Pride's is rather interesting here. who out of youthful innocence and cruelty judged criminals one after another. That seems...
I love it as
That
far as
seems
like
curious.
the picture that's being painted, because that is terrifying. But yeah.
Right. It just feels like, is this something of where innocence and cruelty, that's...
Because, I mean, there's no cruelty like a child's cruelty, I feel like.
I guess because they don't have any grid for...
Yeah.
There's a potential for lack of grid for empathy.
Right.
They might not have been taught or shown it yet.
But yeah, I love how throughout all this, like, Subaru, you know, I mean, he's seen some shit, right? So he takes everything mostly in stride, but as it goes on,
It starts to freak him out.
It starts to freak him out, especially once it gets to Echidna talking about herself, and then even more so
Satella.
when she starts talking about Satella. And it almost, like, I could totally be wrong here, right? It could just be that there's the crazy exposition dump happening. She just vaporized the world that he was in, and it's like, all right, we're in galaxies now, and I'm giving you cosmic download, you know.
And it's not stopping.
And it's not
just
stopping, and you
going,
didn't
going.
ask for this, right?
Yeah.
But it almost seems like one of those things where potentially it's I want my world to stay simple, and this is complicating it, and so I don't want it.
Yeah.
You know?
Echidna's being the one that was in the pursuit of all types of knowledge, being something where she's like, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm setting you up to be the one that I can basically sponge off of and absorb knowledge. Because by him asking her questions, he's also giving her info based on what... And since she's locked away here, of course
It's
she's
lonely
hungry
in there.
for knowledge and stuff like that. But then when she gets to the Witch of Envy, it shifts focus from her eyes to her mouth, basically to say...
He's focusing on everything that she's saying here.
Yes, but remember, Echidna does kind of look like Amelia.
Especially when you don't see her eyes.
When you don't see her eyes and stuff, it'd be easier to fix this, to be focused on this image and think about Amelia's likeness in that regard.
Sure.
But who killed all the other witches and used them as sustenance while she made the whole world her enemy. Now, what I think is interesting here is that doing all of that has no connection to making the whole world her enemy.
Sure.
Meaning that what
like,
she did there by consuming the witches,
she did it
something
alongside it. Not
those are two different things. Which means that she intentionally tried to make the whole world her enemy.
Right.
That seems that seems rather interesting, because that means then that the power she gained from consuming the witches had nothing to do with being used specifically for making the whole world her enemy. If anything,
not in any kind of direct fashion.
Right, because it was happening in parallel. So she was already doing things to make the whole world her enemy, but it's almost like someone who does the Code Geass side of things, where they gather all the hatred of the world into one package, and now they have all the power as well to be able to...
That's a way that it can be dealt with,
Well, also to be an eternal enemy, an eternal threat, that's something that can never be really defeated, because they're just too powerful.
And given the fact that there's this whole idea of reincarnation with Amelia going on, that is very interesting. But one of the other things... now, the whole idea behind the barrier, and that Echidna did it to keep out half-bloods, totally makes sense. And given the fact that she is a witch and that she was killed by the Witch of Envy, it makes a lot of sense, right? It's the perfect defense. She can let people in that she wants to be let in, and that she can get information from and things like that. But at the same time, keep the people that she wants out, right? Because she probably doesn't... Maybe she cares that she doesn't have a body and that she's just a spirit at this point or whatever. But if she's after knowledge, you can still have knowledge, in that state, right? But when there was the whole thing of the consumed the other witches, right? That almost felt like it could be twisted into a sort of power of friendship thing of lend me your energy, everyone. There's something that must be done. Sure. Now it that seems like it's purely speculation that is not based on hard evidence that's being given in the show.
Right,
and in
but
fact, there's stuff to the contrary.
Yeah, but outside of whatever is going on with Subaru, we don't really have any direct knowledge of Satella.
Right.
It's all second, third-hand information at
Exactly.
best.
And this is the closest that we've gotten to having a point where basically, the
'Cause it's
god of the
secondhand.
world comes in and says, this is how things are.
Right, and it's still second-hand.
It's still secondhand,
None of
right?
it is experiential.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even experiential stuff, that's never biased, right? So
Well, yeah, totally. But that's why I was saying the best thing we have is experiential via Subaru's kind of second-hand info.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm and of course she could have her own, agenda, and she does, right? She wants him to sort of hang out and ask questions and things like that, right?
Yeah, and that's,
and the vow of you can never speak of this to anyone. That's interesting because it totally seems harmless, right?
Yep.
Of just the, hey, keep this private.
Yep.
But at the same time, it very much feels like I'm playing the long game. You know
what I think the long game is?
what?
Well, what is the whole thing being set up with Emilia and Satella?
Reincarnation?
Yes. Which means that there's got to be something that needs to incarnate into a body. Which means that Echidna possibly has the same power. She could have the same opportunity. And her trial here is not just a way for people to get out, but it's
I need a host.
I need a host.
Yeah, and
stay here
and
talk
once
to me.
Right, and
let me
once
see if you're a good host.
Yeah. Well,
And
also,
since I do like the potential of you as a host, I'm going to give you a cheat code for the trial.
here's another thing. The idea that when it was you can't tell anyone about this, it was also I wipe memory.
Yes.
That means that theoretically all of these people could have come through here, talked to Echidna, and then
Yep.
gotten their memory wiped.
Yep.
If she's looking for information, that would be the way to do it, right?
Yep.
And then be like, "Oh, I'm so lonely. No one ever comes in and talks to me. You're the only person I do this with. I definitely don't do this with anyone else. Not that you would have any way of knowing."
Yeah.
Like-
when you wipe memories like that with a boom, like a tap, that is, that's chilling.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's so chilling.
And I don't know what the whole ploy is here. Like I feel like Echidna
I think it is the host thing.
Yeah.
She wants out.
right. Like I think that's what it is too. But like
She's trapped here in her
definitely.
Windows,
yes,
Windows
yes,
XP background.
right, exactly. Of course she'd
Windows
want out.
95
Right?
probably.
Yeah, but what's her long-term goal? Getting a body, getting a new host. Cool. All right, I like it.
Yes, and then be greedy with that.
Well,
Go
sure,
in and
yeah.
do what I do best.
Right.
And absorb and
Absorb
learn
the knowledge
and
of
observe
everything and
get
all
it
that.
all.
Yeah. Okay.
Live it all.
Yeah. Yep.
I really do think that's there's not much really a logical leap you need to make that happen other than the fact that, well, based on the fact that she's dead and Subaru
Right.
is interacting with her in a way where her power is real. Her power is being
Yep.
actively used in a not a
She's not just a hologram or whatever that's like, hey, you can talk to me.
programmed basically.
Like
yeah.
she has influence. Yeah.
She has will.
Yep.
Yeah, which means that this is ultimately the power of a witch in that you can't really kill them. You can maybe just borrow their power. And that's in some ways kind of what Subaru has been doing all this time. And it's just a question of how much is Satella or whatever is inside of him really kind of doing this
Yeah.
where he's being a tool, a pawn of some kind, or something else.
This is
Yeah.
and amidst all of that, then we get all the stuff outside of it. Subaru goes, he meets the people. There's this Bakugo dude, that's Garfield,
Garfield.
apparently, who's the one that we shouldn't trust and like
But
trust
he's
judgment of, maybe. Sure.
Right, there you
like
go.
that seems more like likely, But then there's the whole thing with Emilia and the people there, and I love it, right? It's is this some angle? If that
opportunity
is
for redemption. At
yeah,
the very least.
like it's okay if
In
it
their eyes.
is, but we need to know. And then it's
Yep.
no, it isn't, right? There's no ulterior motive. There's no agenda. I didn't even promise your families that I would do this, but I promised myself I would do this. So there you go, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, good stuff. Then then we get Subaru meeting his dad, going back to the real world, even if it's in a simulation or something.
It is definitely some kind of an internal struggle, cave of Dagobah kind of thing where there's something like that being forced upon him by Echidna. Yep. Now, Emilia might be going through the same thing,
and I would not be surprised if she was talking to Echidna right now.
Except, that she's talking with Echidna. Right.
Yeah.
She's not going through the trial because the light went out, and there's no reason for
unless
Garfield to lie about that.
Right. Well, unless that's part of the whole thing if he can't be trusted, or it's something where Echidna is just being deceptive.
I could see Garfield being a tool of Echidna to operate freely within the whole thing, and maybe his "I wish I could, if only I could" is that maybe he has some deal with Echidna.
If only I could be the one that could be the host for Echidna or break Echidna free of this or whatever.
Exactly.
But I can't.
But I actually cannot because she rejected me or something.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways that...
There's a lot of ways they could do that. I do like the idea, though, that Garfield is one that we're not supposed to wholly trust. So Frederica's words aren't just kind of hollow. There is a reason as to why she said that. But the fact that he's been so accommodating thus far means that this could be something that he wants that doesn't end well for some people. But I don't know. It is a bit confuzzled at that point.
Right.
So, hey, at the very least, we know Roswell is one to be trusted here.
That's true.
Except for the part where...
He had them come here not knowing what they were getting into, and now they're trapped here, and the only way they can get out is if they all get out.
Yes, but the idea that they went here at all...
Yeah, that's either ignorance on his part, overconfidence in his abilities, thinking that he could bust themselves back out. And I could see that being the case. He's like, I'm a badass mage. This is an old barrier, by a dead woman, it'll be tough.
Her power is still pretty,
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, he is a bit haughty at times. But...
And it would be the perfect way to keep them safe.
Yes, exactly. It was a very, very foolproof way to keep people safe. But there's this underlying kind of awkward dynamic where if Beatrice is his grandma, I believe, based on the OVA.
I forget. Something like that.
I think she's either his mom or his grandma, basically.
Right, one of those two, I believe.
But that means that the Echidna connection with his family is one that Beatrice is at the very least connected with and involved in.
And she said not to trust Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. This feels like we're getting into that stage where the intrigue is so multifaceted, or that we're either missing some things, or it's just that this is the type of story that's now going to be focused on, where characters are all trying to play games with each other in order to meet their own goals and ends.
Because the thing that really, really makes me pause, right, with this, is that there was what was set up from the cliffhanger of the previous episode, right? Which is let's get into this, right? But then the cliffhanger, right. Yeah. But then the cliffhanger for this episode feels like it's taking it in a whole different direction. And granted, that could just be a temporary thing, but that really makes me wonder how much we can actually reliably expect from this season versus it just going all kinds of places that are just weird, like where it's like, okay, we thought it was going this way, but surprise, there's also a turn that's going to take us down this route and then this route, and I don't know.
So I remembered something from my etymology stuff from a while ago. Echidna is actually a very telling name, because I was thinking about when they listed all the names of the witches, and I was like, oh shit. A lot of these
are
names,
very specific.
A lot of these names are specific to lore and legends of specific things. Like we have Typhon, Sekhmet, and then the other one I believe
What's Typhon from?
I'll get into that later. But the Echidna name, I was like, hold on, that name either refers to something, and I was confused because I was like, it's either an animal or it's a flower. It's one of those two.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you, it's an animal, but as a name. I just looked it up. Echidna means viper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's funny because also the animal, an echidna specifically, I believe is a mammal, like porcupine type thing.
Gotcha.
So it's like, I don't know what to think about it
Well,
necessarily.
but from the standpoint of the viper, like, I don't know, like, well, it makes me think venom, right? So don't trust it. But also the idea that...
don't drink the tea.
Right, don't drink the tea. But actually, it also makes me think of something almost on similar lines to, like, gluttony, of being able to swallow things much larger than itself.
Oh.
And from the standpoint of greed and wanting knowledge, that definitely seems to have... Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's some
Sorry for
connotation
that,
right
guys.
there.
Yeah. But also that means she's premium waifu potential because
Wait,
I don't need to say why, but
I thought you were actually going to be serious, not making some sort of gag joke or whatever.
I'm actually 100% serious right now, though.
Gotcha.
Like that
but it
voice,
is a gag joke.
That doesn't. Thank you for catching on to that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, premium design, voice, attitude, personality. And then also that threat potential as well.
Yes, yeah, that definitely can help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, I am very curious. Like I keep getting more and more curious because I feel like
I love this. Yeah.
With every episode, I have less of an idea of what's going on. If that makes sense. Like, and in the best way.
I feel
in
like
the
I'm
best
finally
way.
starting to get what's going on.
Oh man, but like
Don't you feel like that? Don't you feel like the lore of the first season was so vague in its fantasy stuff that you were like, I don't know what the story of this world is. And now that we're getting the witches, you're like, holy crap, I actually am now starting to get what's going on in this world.
So let me rephrase that. I feel like I am starting to have a better idea of what's going on, but I feel like the pace at which things are being introduced that I don't understand is increasing.
Right, that means you're headed towards understanding.
Right, but I'm not sure if it seems like an exponential curve where I'll keep understanding more and more and more about the world, but at the same time, the amount of stuff that I don't know about the world will keep increasing.
Right. So the way they'll probably do this is they will get a frame of reference. Subaru.
Sure.
Subaru will start to be able to translate things in a limited capacity, and then he will get corrected at points when he starts to view things in the wrong way, basically. And at about that point, like a little bit after that point, we'll have probably a pretty good understanding of how the world works in general. I would say that's kind of the function of Echidna's character right now.
She's like, it's definitely helpful from the standpoint of
from the writing. Yeah. It is important to have a character like Echidna who is directly motivated to be like, I'm going to give you...
I'm going to help you understand this. And then, of course, Subaru's like, but Amelia is so cute. I want to see her again.
And she's like, I'm trying to exposit to you.
Yeah.
But I love the way she was like so flustered about it, too.
Oh, yeah,
She's just like, but don't you like...
That aspect made it seem genuine, right? Because everything else I could see being an act, right? But that was something where it's like, come on, I've been 10,000 years in one position can really give you a crick in the neck, right? And damn it, like, really?
You're the slightest bit greedy.
Yeah,
you're human, right?
Come on.
I love that she could also sense the off-kilter aspect of his bravery. In that she's like, you don't fear death. Like,
that's
like
weird.
What is... Oh, I like you. I really do think that she's trying to set him up to potentially be her host, which means her Shinobu casting is even better because, oh my god, if Echidna goes into
a bond
Subaru's
beyond
shadow,
life and death and cannot be broken. And...
But can you imagine, though, if she then goes basically as his host, and she's like, what the f has been going on inside you here? What's all this Satella shit? Have you been two-timing with it? And she's like, I don't even know.
And then she has to help him deal with his ex.
Exactly. Yeah. And she's like, oh, you can't talk about this.
Well,
like there's some weird seals and bonds on this right now.
Yeah, he can't talk about Satella. He can't talk about this thing with her. And in Kizu, at the end of Kizu, it was the tale that I will never tell anyone.
Yeah. So I could definitely see there being a potential reference to some stuff in here for the fun of it.
And if you're going to imitate something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Oh man.
Yeah. We wanted to bring up this theory because it was something that felt too direct of a connection to ignore. So let's bring this up here. Echidna was giving Subaru the envy witch factor.
Right,
Which
to help-
she said, to help him build up his resistance so that they could talk normally. However, she said that Betelgeuse had the sloth witch factor, which makes sense.
He was the Archbishop of Sloth, yeah.
And because Subaru killed him,
it chose to,
attach
latch
itself to
him.
Which means that Echidna probably killed the Archbishop of Envy.
Or at the very least was involved somehow.
But what I think that kind of denotes here is that Echidna and Satella are like
Enemies.
rivals.
Yeah. Well,
Like not necessarily enemies in the strictest sense, but in the like,
it gets complicated when you're almost a god,
it's you, bitch.
right?
It's you, bitch. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's
Well,
me, bitch.
and-
It's like,
and-
I lived, bitch.
Yes, and
Like
the other thing,
that kind of.
the other general impression that I got is that if she wanted to have a host and things like that and whatnot and escape, that she would also potentially want vengeance.
Oh,
Like depending on how it went, right? Because we don't know exactly what the context is for all the things that happened in the past.
That's true. Yep.
Because we got a lot of additional non-specific perspective. So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. But now let's go inside Subaru's mind soul
To meet
trial
his
and to
dad.
meet his family.
And you pointed something out where I was like, that totally makes sense. This is where Subaru got his spunk and energy
right
from.
then, EMC, let's go,
Right.
do the thing. And I'm like,
Of course.
this is it.
Yeah.
He looks like Subaru to like a T
Oh my
with just
God.
the glasses and the fierce eyebrows. You
You know
know
what's something it also does? It helps explain, because now I remember when ReZero came out, right? And some people were saying like, it's trying to be like realistic and stuff, but it's unrealistic that Subaru would be in good shape. And it's like, first off, you can be a neat and be in good shape. It's like, you can do it, right? But also, if his dad is just constantly like being like, here's my shirtless self, all muscular and stuff.
I'll just say, you emulate those you end up spending the most time with.
Yeah.
that's just basic
Yeah.
human psychology. So
So, it's like,
if his dad only brings in like super lean
if he only-
meat and like really clean
Sure,
food into
sure.
the house, Subaru doesn't have a choice of what he's,
that is a great point. But
Yeah.
even if just 1/10 of it rubbed off on him, as far as like the desire
The
for it,
genes,
or
if you will.
or the genes or whatever, right? It's like, oh, there you go,
There you go.
Yep.
And also, apparently, his mom is the classic anime mom with the side ponytail, so
Yeah, we
she's
talked about
probably
that
also
last
mostly
episode, yeah.
perfect as well. So
I mean, could be, yeah,
Could be. We'll
but then
see.
if that's the case, what's the thing? What's the conflict here? What does he have to face? What's
well, we don't know, how much of this is real, Jacob.
Well,
not
it's-
real in terms of whether or not it's illusion, but how much of it is actually how his family was.
that's true, yeah.
Because what this was probably is it's her. Let's explore. What is
Well,
it really like? Knowledge. This is all
sure. Well,
knowledge.
and also,
oh my God. I have
Subaru.
an idea for a meme.
Oh God, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't once thought about your family.
Well,
Not that we've seen.
we don't get that much time inside his head.
Yeah,
in the
and-
pontificating. sense.
Right, and keep it focused on what is
Relevant to the
relevant
plot.
to the plot and the story
Yeah,
and things
yeah.
like that, right? But
But true, you're right.
That
what
could be
you're
something
saying,
to bring up.
You're not missing, man. You're on.
Yeah.
You're on point. So it's just a question of, well, what did you leave behind?
and we knew that he had very low
going on there?
self-esteem from back then because of how he interacted with Amelia and things.
True.
So,
True. And
Yeah,
maybe
I don't
he
know.
does have a few things that you could infer from just the way the dad acted there that are not necessarily the best personality traits for interacting with people,
yeah. And
especially if this is kind of the
feel-
I invade your personal space and
Oh,
privacy and
gotcha.
stuff
I mean,
in a way that I'm
that
trying
could-
to see
that
if I
could be-
could turn the dad's kind of interaction here into something where we could infer anything negative
well,
from
I
it.
could see it being something where if he sees his parents as being super perfect, then he looks at himself and is like, I don't measure up. Even if they're not doing those comparisons, he could be.
That's true.
And that's totally speculation, but
That's
yeah,
not-
and we'll probably see next episode.
Not a
what it
bad
is.
bit of speculation at all. I think
Yeah.
that's very possible.
I mean, his dad looks pretty awesome so far, and his mom has the sideways ponytail, so she must be awesome.
Can't wait to have the next episode come, and then it's just like his mom is actually pure evil, and the dad is just like
Trying
"What?"
to put a bold face on it, like
Or no, just the idea that he's like just blissfully ignorant. Yeah, Who
that
knows?
would be
Who knows?
That would be something.
That would be something. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this crazy episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Indeed. The info is in the description.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.